let's head to the beach. See that? That's the ocean. It's full of salt water. It's full of a lot of other things too. And they're alive. Leo the science girl. Leo the science girl. Leo. Leo the science girl. Science bros. Leo the science girl. Inertia is a property of matter. Leo. T-minus 10 seconds. Leo. Leo the science girl. Hi guys, I'm Leonora and I go on adventures. And this week we're exploring the ocean. The study of the ocean is called Oceanography. Say it with me now. Oceanography. 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 There's an amazing amount of living things in the ocean. There are fish, sharks, whales, squid, sea plants, sea anemones, sea otters, all sorts of other living things. Most of the living things in the ocean are so small we can't even see them. These tiny plants and animals are called plankton. Let's get my microscope and look at plankton. It's tiny. Plankton is very important to life on Earth. Most people think we get oxygen to breathe only from trees. But guess what? Phytoplankton produce oxygen that people and animals need to survive. Plankton is also an important source of food for animals, even whales. What is an ocean? An ocean is a huge body of salt water. Oceans cover nearly 71% of Earth's surface. There are 5 main oceans in the world. The Arctic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean. Pop quiz. Is it an ocean? Is this an ocean? No, it's a lake. Is this an ocean? No, it's a river. Is this an ocean? No, it's a pond. How deep is the ocean? Let's see how far down you can go into the ocean. This is my submarine. Submarines are boats that travel underwater. Are you ready? Let's go. 90% of all ocean life lives here. It's not very deep. This is the deepest scuba dive. After this, you won't see the sun. This is how far down a whale can swim. Look, there's the Titanic. And that's a snailfish. It lives deeper than any other fish. Now, you know Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world? Well, if you flipped it upside down, it wouldn't even touch the deepest part of the ocean. Now, we are as far down as the submarine Challenger Deep has gone. 36,000 feet. What are the layers of the ocean? The ocean is so deep that we divide it into layers. Epipelagic, the sunlight zone. Mesopelagic, the twilight zone. Bathypelagic, the midnight zone. Bisopelagic, the abyss. Horapelagic, trenches. The deepest part of the ocean is called the Mariana Trench. Let's do an experiment. First we need supplies. A big jar, a measuring cup, corn syrup, blue dish soap, vegetable oil, water, rubbing alcohol, food coloring. Step 1. Mix 2/3 cup of corn syrup with 4 drops of food coloring. This is the deepest layer of the ocean, known as the trench or anapelagic zone. Step 2. Mix 2/3 cup of dish soap with 2 drops of food coloring. Then slowly pour it into the jar above the bottom layer. This is the abyss or the abyssopelagic layer. Step 3. Measure 2/3 cup of water and add 1 drop of food coloring. This is called the midnight or bathypelagic zone. Step 4. Add 2/3 cup of oil. This layer is the twilight or mesopelagic zone. Step 5. Very carefully add 2/3 cup of rubbing alcohol to the top layer of the jar. Use a dropper if you can. This layer is the sunlight or epipelagic zone. What animals live in the deepest part of the ocean? Since we're down here, let's take a look. A Dumbo octopus. Here's a bento kalan. Wow, creepy, a sea devil. Check it out, an anglefish. There are even volcanoes under the ocean. This is the moment a volcano erupted under the ocean. Underwater volcanoes work just like volcanoes on land. They start like underwater mountains and erupt. Sometimes there's so much lava that it turns into an island. My favorite animals in the open ocean. Sharks. Sharks are ancient animals. They've lived in oceans for 420 million years. They don't have bones, only cartilage, like a nose. They can see in the dark better than a wolf, and their noses are 10,000 times better than a human. Some sharks have 3,000 teeth and they like to eat animals. Whales. Whales breathe air, just like humans. They have to come to the surface to breathe, but they can be underwater for 1.5 hours. Blue whales are the largest animals that live on Earth. They weigh as much as 24 elephants. Even though they're big, they don't have teeth like sharks. They eat tiny creatures called krill. But best of all, whales love to sing. Let's listen to a whale song. Sea turtles. These guys lay eggs on the sandy beaches of more than 80 countries. Look at the eggs hatching. Here they go into the ocean. Sea turtles are like whales. They breathe air, but can spend up to 5 hours underwater. They swim thousands of miles and then come back to the beach where they were born to lay eggs so more sea turtles can be born. My favorite animals in the Arctic and the Antarctic oceans. Polar bears. Polar bears only live by the Arctic Ocean. They love to eat seals, small mammals, birds, eggs, and plants. The biggest threat to polar bears is shrinking sea ice. A warming climate are causing sea ice to melt, which means our polar bears have less time to hunt. Seals. Seals are known as pedipeds, live in both the Arctic and the Antarctic Ocean. Seals usually eat fish, but they will also eat eel, squid, octopus, and lobster. human greed has led to the decline of many seals' population. In the past, millions of seals were killed for their meat, blubber, and fur. Penguins. Most penguins live near the Antarctic Ocean. They eat krill, which is like shrimp, squids, and fishes. Even though penguins are birds, they have flippers instead of wings. The flippers make them excellent swimmers. One of the biggest threats to penguins is climate change. When the ice melts, penguins have less area to hatch their babies. Are narwhals real? A long time ago, in the Middle Ages, people used to think unicorns were real. Rich queens and kings used to buy unicorn horns and use them for magic potions. In New York, you can even see the unicorn tapestry to tell the story of a hunt for the magical unicorn. Now we know the unicorns were never real, but where did the horns come from? Narwhals. Narwhals are strange and beautiful creatures with long tusks sticking out of the top of their heads. They spend their lives in the Arctic waters of Canada, Greenland, Norway, and Russia. Narwhals eat fish, squid, and shrimp. Let's head to San Diego, where my friend Anjali will tell us about coral reefs.
What about coral reefs? Did you know that more animals live around coral reefs than any other part of the ocean? When you look at a coral reef, you might think that you are seeing a group of colorful rocks. But don't be mistaken, reefs are actually made out of living creatures called coral. Coral reefs can be found all over the world. However, most coral reefs grow in shallow, clean ocean waters or on either side of the equator because they need sunlight and warm temperatures all year to survive. The first coral reefs formed on Earth 240 million years ago. That's before dinosaurs were alive. Some famous coral reefs include the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, the Amazon Reef in Brazil and French Guiana, the Tabataha Reef in the Philippines, and the Miami Terrace Reef in the United States. Lots of different types of sea creatures call coral reefs their home. Giant clams, starfish, sea turtles, seahorses, eels, cuttlefish, and many, many more. The reefs provide this diverse range of animals with everything they need, including food and shelter. The biggest threats to coral reefs are pollution spilling in the oceans, damage from ships and boats, and climate change, which makes the water warmer and more acidic.
What's wrong with that ocean? Scientists think that 8.8 million tons of plastic goes in the ocean every year. That's like if you stacked up 5 grocery bags full of trash on top of each other on every beach in the world. How does plastic get into the sea? Plastic left on the ground as litter often blows into creeks and rivers, eventually ending up in the ocean. And because plastic trash is different from other types of waste, it doesn't decompose like an apple core. Instead, it stays in the ocean forever. That means discarded fishing nets and six-pack rings, tangled animals, and straws or grocery bags can be mistaken as food. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch, the big patch of garbage in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It is caught in the water current. How can you help? Our ocean provides over half the air we breathe. It regulates the climate so the planet doesn't get too hot. And the ocean also provides food, transportation, and fun. We all want to keep the ocean safe. So how do we help? One of the worst plastic polluters are straws. Straws are a good example of single-use plastic, which is plastic that you just use one time. We need to reduce how much plastic we use. We also need to recycle more and try to change laws to protect the oceans. If you can, help with the beach cleanup with your friends, family, or school. But also, guys, everything we learn about plastic and how to help the earth, we have to teach other people too. That's all I have time to explore this week. See you next time. This is Leonora, getting ready for another adventure.
Testing, 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 testing.